Right, 7:29 right now, and a lot of things going on in the neighborhood. We've mentioned that many times, and a lot of things happening over in Newton at Iowa Speedway. The first weekend, it is opening weekend at Iowa Speedway, so wide opening weekend is what they're calling it, and we are very excited because we have one of our very own that is one of the favorites tomorrow in the Camping World Truck Series race. We've seen him on this program since he was about this big. We've talked to him forever.
Yeah.
From Grimes, Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, the one and only Brett Moffit. How are you, buddy?
I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back in the home state, and I do love racing at the Iowa Speedway. So everybody make sure to come on out. The truck racing is always good. I get that from the fans all the time, and come support the hometown boy. And I like that you said I'm one of the favorites, so I'm good with that. Let's go.
Well, you have to be one of the favorites because when people come to the Iowa Speedway, everybody brags about it, Jackie, and one of their goals is to win at the Iowa Speedway.
I would think so. That'd be the ultimate goal.
Okay,
that's the goal every week.
Yeah, and it's even better if you are from the state of Iowa and you happen to be the first person that won at the Iowa Speedway. Like this guy was the first person from the state of Iowa to win a major event at Iowa Speedway. As a matter of fact, we'll take a look at some of these photos here. Back in the day, he was, I believe, 18 years old?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this youngster.
Yeah, it's been a while. That was back in the Nascar K&N Pro Series days, and like you said, I was fortunate enough to get a win here in Iowa, and that's still to this day is one of my most special wins in my career. And this being Father's Day weekend, my dad's always been a huge supporter of my racing. To win at the Iowa Speedway in front of my friends and family would be the most special thing in the world.
There you go. Want to jump in the Wayback Machine? Let's jump in the Wayback Machine. Take a look at your win. There he is again. Look at that young face.
That was a good night.
You were driving for Michael Waltrip,
yeah,
right?
Michael Waltrip Racing, and we had a really good car that night, and it was just really special. So unfortunately that night we have to use that engine again and again, so I didn't get to do a good burnout, but you better believe that if that happens again tomorrow night, that it'll be a good show.
You're going to give it a good ride, aren't you?
Oh, for sure.
Now, difference between what you drove there to Victory Lane and the trucks, main difference?
They're actually pretty similar power-wise, so that's not a huge difference. The truck, they make a lot of downforce. So which being at a short track, it's not going to matter quite as much, but our mile and a half, so it's really about drafting. And I've never raced a truck at Iowa though, so this is going to be a first time, and I'm really happy to have Destiny Homes and the Smart Series on board, and that's a great way for them to advertise their new Smart Series homes and draw a lot of attention to that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I've raced a few Xfinity races here, and hopefully I can take what I learned in there and in the K&N cars and be victorious with it.
There you go.
So what does it take to win at Iowa Speedway?
You beat 20 some other guys. No,
That's all it takes.
No, it's a lot of patience. It's short track racing. So as you know, and as we all know, short track racing can cause a lot of carnage, and I think part of the game is to be there at the end, and to be there with a truck that's intact and all four corners are still on it. So I think a lot of it, the first half is survival, and then the second half is be aggressive and race. So that's kind of my strategy going in, and the best way to stay out of wrecks is to be up front. So if we could qualify up front and race up front, that'd be the best way to do it.
But and obviously the team has a lot to do with that by getting you the equipment to be up front. And tell everybody the team that you're associated with.
Yeah,
now.
I'm with Shigetori Racing this year, which is actually, I ran 2 years for them back in the K&N Pro Series days. So it's kind of rekindling of an old deal, and we have a very successful truck program going on. We're not the biggest team, but the equipment we have is really quality equipment, and we have quality people, and that's what makes race cars go fast. And so far, they've just been a lot of fun to drive this year.
Yeah, and they were going fast a little bit earlier this year, too. You had a great time over in Atlanta, didn't you?
I did. That was, I knew we'd be successful. I didn't think it'd be that early in the season.
Let's take a look. Why don't you walk us through this and tell us what's happening here?
So we were the first car on 4 tires. The 13 took 2 there, which Atlanta tires are really sensitive, and I just knew I had to be aggressive on the restart. And clean air is everything in the trucks. Being out front, you get the most downforce. And so basically for 2 laps here, I just held it wide open and hoped it was enough to drive away from them, which fortunately it was.
So you just jumped around the leaders who were right in front of you in the second row when they waved the green flag. Again, you said you had those those
yeah, we have 4
on
fresh tires, and Atlanta's really an old pavement, so it's easy to spin the tires, and it was actually hard to control myself. We have to wait till we cross the start-finish line to pull out a line on the restart. So it was hard to get myself to actually wait that long, but luckily we still had the momentum and we're able to clear them getting into turn 1 there.
Yeah, so again, great feeling, especially with that team being able to hoist that trophy up overhead.
Yeah, so that was their first win ever in the Camping World Truck Series, and I was able to bring him his first win ever in the K&N Series. So it's pretty special that I was able to do both those for Mr. Hattori, and super thankful that he's given me this opportunity, and it means the world to me.
How fast were you going when you were crossing the finish line there?
I would say Atlanta's probably about 180.
Okay.
It's a pretty fast track.
Nice clip, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're like on new tires there, it's 2 laps wide open and just hang on and go. So
you're not lifting at all. You're just
no, not out front. When you're in traffic, you have to lift. So that's the benefit to getting that clean air and to running out front.
Because there's so much force down on there.
It's all down force and side force, and it's quick.
But when it comes to the end of the races, you have a knack for being in the right place at the right time, even if there's trucks in front of you. Like you did a couple of years prior. Let's go back to Michigan. Explain what happened here at Michigan, because this was the talk of the series.
So the first 2 races, I guess I just need to quit leading laps in races because both my race wins, I only led 1 lap in the whole race. And that was, again, at Michigan, the same case where there were 2 trucks racing side by side, and I was able to get a big draft and have the momentum and go where they're not. So I wasn't really in the groove, but I made my own, and we were able to get clear and stay in front of my teammate Timothy Peters there until the checkered flag, and that was a really special day too. My dad was there for that win, and it just meant a lot to us.
There you go. So you have a knack for getting out front in those type of situations. So what's the situation you want this weekend then at Iowa Speedway? Say you're coming down for the last couple of laps of the race. Do you want to be in the lead if it's a restart? Do you want to be in the lead, or do you want to be in that second row?
I would always pick the lead, but at the same time, I seem to thrive when I'm in a hunger situation. So when you dangle a carrot out in front of me, and in this form it's another race truck, I seem to be a little more aggressive. So either way works, but as long as we end up in victory lane, I don't care how we get there.
Okay, now we have to make sure people can identify which truck you're in, because you have a new scheme this weekend too. You mentioned the sponsors.
We do.
Okay, who's the sponsor on it this year?
Destiny Homes and their new Smart Series. They'll be the number 16 truck, and what they're doing is bring affordable, stylish living to people who thought homeownership wasn't possible, and they're starting in the mid 200s or low 200s, and in many cases it's minimal money down and it's as cheap as your rent is. So they're doing a great thing for the community, and they're just trying to spread the word this weekend, and I'll be everywhere from the ticket gate to the...
Yeah, tell me what time you're going to be at the ticket gate.
Yeah, I'll be at the ticket gate at 1.
When they open, yeah.
Yeah, when they open, so make sure to be there and come meet me, and then I'll be around in the grandstand side for most of the afternoon. So I'll be around. Make sure to find me, and let's talk about it.
There's going to be autograph sessions throughout the afternoon. We'll be announcing as to when all these things are going on, too. So.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and I love my hometown fans and my hometown crowd, and make sure to come on out.
And what would you say to people if they've never been to Iowa Speedway before? What's so exciting about this weekend that they need to come out and see?
Well, first of all, the NASCAR Truck Series, their racing is always pretty exciting. I might be a little biased, but Iowa Speedway does a great job of putting on a show. It's a very nice venue, one of the nicest tracks we go to, and it makes for exciting racing because it's a 7/8 mile, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of 3-wide racing, and it's just a good time. Make sure to come on out and bring the family, bring the kids. They'll love it. Fast cars, and just make memories.
And remember, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult. So again, take advantage of that too. And then with the truck race, another added bonus, after the truck race is over, don't go home right away, because there's going to be a concert right behind the grandstands.
I did not know that.
Survivor is going to be playing right afterwards.
If I'm in victory lane, I'll come out and have a good time in the concert with you guys. I promise you that. So.
All right, so that's all going on tomorrow, Iowa Speedway, to watch our very own Brett Moffit hopefully hoist that really cool trophy high overhead. And then it's party time, right?
It is. I need one of those gas cans, so let's do it.
It's working. We're very proud of you, man. Thank you for coming in, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you so much. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, it is